Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. What is good? What is good? What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Of course, you know who I be. Good Doc, Doctor Mike TV, back again, once again. You already know what it is, baby. Instant classic in the making. If this is your first time to the Doctor Mike TV channel, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you notify. Make sure you do all the good things to make yourself well versed in the Good Doc's content. All of my good stuff shall be listed in the link in the description area below. Official time check, ladies and gentlemen, 8:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7:35 Central. What is that about? 5:35 for everybody repping that West Coast, and of course, 9:35 a.m. Philippine Standard Time. Wherever you guys are reporting in the world today, salat masalahat, and thank you guys for joining the Good Doc on what is poised to be a fantastic show. Ladies and gentlemen, we often talk about what is going to be the biggest expense for us when we travel to the Philippines, right? A lot of us will say, well, trying to find a place to stay is going to be the most expensive thing. You know, the plane tickets are going to be the most expensive thing. You know, we have all of these things in our head that are pretty much the heaviest or the where the bulk of our finances are going to go in reference to our trip. But a lot of people, y'all about to get schooled today, but there's a lot of people that really do not know that their cell phone bill, load, and all of that shit could probably be the biggest expense for a foreigner in the Philippines. Now, if you guys were able to catch the YouTube short videos that we had earlier today, I told you guys or I gave you a suggestion on whether you guys should bring your own phones or if you should just get one while you're there. And I also talked about, tips for, load and things like that. And there was a reason why I did that. I have noticed throughout my experiences that foreigners tend to spend an exuberant amount of money on cell phone load, and cards and shit like that while they're in the Philippines, right? My father, who I love dearly, love this man, right? I go to war for him any day of the week, but my father really did expose this particular, not fact, but he exposed this experience to me as I watched him do it. Now, my father is not hurting for no money. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of my brethren out there that's not hurting for money at all, right? A lot of you guys do pretty well. A lot of you guys do pretty well for yourself. At least if you're able to make it to the Philippines, you're doing just good enough to be able to travel abroad, right? So a lot of you guys aren't pressed with money. So what my dad used to do is, for most foreigners, you guys are going to come to the country and you're going to get prepaid load cards. None of you guys are going to have postpaid because that basically means that you have a plan with a cell phone company, etc. Most of my newbies coming into the country, you guys aren't going to have plans or anything like that. So you're going to go through the prepaid process. You're going to get a SIM card, whether it be a smart SIM card, whether it be a Globe, Touch Mobile, TNT, Sun, Red, whatever the fuck they got going on in the Philippines right now. They got SIM cards galore. You're going to get your SIM card probably at the airport or something. You're going to insert it into a phone that is unlocked, and you're going to use it. You're going to load it all the time that you need to put minutes on your phone. But with my father, though, my dad used to buy load like thousands of pesos at a time, right? He'd buy like two 500 peso load cards, the Smart, Sun, whatever the network is. He would buy like 500 peso load cards. He would run through those shits in like 2 days or like 3 days, maybe a maximum a week. He was spending like 1,000 plus a week just on, load. Now, the thing with my dad is, like I said, he wasn't hurting for money. And if he was looking for me and my brother, my dad didn't really text much, right? He'll call. And that shit burns your minutes, right? And he wasn't hip to the game on promo codes and data. He probably didn't even really give a shit because it wasn't hurting him at all, right? So he wasn't really schooled on that. So when I saw that my dad be running through load cards like crazy, I'm like, yo, if you're not careful, man, your phone could literally be your biggest expense in the Philippines and you not know it because you're not paying attention to the money spent on load and the cards and shit. That stuff really adds up, right? We talk about taxis and transportations and utilizing certain things and how your travel could catch up to you. But if you're not smart, man, how you spend your money on load and all of that shit can catch up as well. Now, a lot of you guys, you little smart motherfuckers in the background, you know, the cut up boys in the back, the people who like to clown the good doc in the back row, right? A lot of people have been like, well, Doc, man, there's Facebook Messenger, bro. So why do I need load when I can talk to her on Facebook Messenger all the time? Facebook Messenger requires them to be in a place where internet access is available, right? And let's be honest, not all Filipinos everywhere that they go have access to internet or data. Because again, data is something that is immediately connected to the load that you put on your phone, which is why you'll have a Filipina ask you for load like all the fucking time. Like, yo, can you load me 10 pesos? Can you pass a load to me 20 pesos? Can you load my phone this much or load my phone this much? Because I have no data. I have no this. If you want to talk to me, I have to have data on my phone. So I have to, so can you load me 100 pesos here? You'll hear people ask you that shit because if they don't have internet access, they're going to be utilizing their data. So not only is it going to be expensive for you to have this shit, it's going to be expensive for you if you're taking care of her load as well. Like my man Mike shirt said. What the shirt say, Mike? It was I'll give you load if you take mine. That shirt was fucking hilarious, man. I love that fucking shirt. If y'all haven't checked out Mike's online store on his webpage and his .com, his website, y'all check that shit out because I love that shirt. I should buy me one of my damn self. Anywho, back to what I was saying. You know, if you're loading all of these people or loading all of these girls, you know, that stuff can add up as well. You know, so for me and my thought process and why I feel that you know, load and thing is good. I'm sorry, that phones and stuff are going to be one of the largest expenses that you'll have in the Philippines. The reason I feel that way is because a lot of people don't pay attention to that particular part of spending. Your level of communication and how you communicate with females is likely going to be through a phone, right? Like I said, you can be on dating sites and all that stuff, but again, that still requires internet access. That requires her to be able to access it from a phone or at an internet cafe. So you're going to need to have data and or something for her to be able to connect with you. And if data is not available, your next best thing, ladies and gentlemen, is the phone that she has in her hand, the ability to be able to connect with her via talk, via text, via call, via text. Now, a lot of you guys, you'll send one text message and you don't know that it'll cost you a peso for every text that you send because you don't load your shit with the promo codes like I've been trying to tell y'all about. And a lot of people, like I said, this may not apply to you, it may not care, but I think this is important if you're looking for a way to at least keep a little extra pesos in your pocket so you can spend it in other places. This is pretty much what this live stream is all about. All right, and if you're enjoying it, yo, drop that like, bro. Drop that like. It is the top 3 sold shirt, man. That shit is hilarious, bro. I love that shirt. But anyways, like I was saying, when it comes down to it, a lot of people don't pay attention to load and anything like that. Like, you know, how much money they spend on, you know, loading and getting data and things like that. So today, the good doc has decided to try to at least semi-partially, possibly, maybe, semi-educate my audience on what this particular thing is all about. Load and, you know, cell phone usage and how you guys can at least find a little bit of a way to save a little cash on the side if it's meaningful to you. All right. So again, if you guys haven't dropped your like yet, please make sure that you do so. I'm going to share my screen with you guys real quick. Just give me a uno momento. And nope, not video file. Share. Here we go. Sharing is Karen. I do believe I'm sharing now. All right. I want to bring you guys over to the Smart website. Let me zoom in on that for you guys so you can see exactly what the website reads. What does it say, ladies and gentlemen? smart.com.ph/corporate. I might need to zoom in a little bit more. I hope you guys can see it. Just let me know if you cannot. Let me see if I can pull it in just a little bit closer for all of my people in the nosebleed section. Sometimes it works. I'm looking at it here to make sure that I'm good, all right? So I want to bring you guys to the Smart website, okay? www.smart.com.ph. Now, Smart is one of the more, we'll tell you it's one of the more popular SIM cards that you can actually have in the Philippines, the bigger ones. are Smart, and the bigger ones are Globe. Smart and Globe are pretty much the biggest SIM cards that you get of SIM card companies or cellular companies or communications companies that you're going to come across in the Philippines, right? Now, all I'm doing is just giving you guys an example, something you may be able to pick up what I'm putting down, but some people may not. And that's why I want to at least give you guys a place to look just in case. All right. So we're on smart.com.ph, guys. I'm going to scroll all the way, literally, down to the bottom, down to the bottom, down to the bottom, down to the bottom. Where we at? Down to the bottom. Still scrolling, still scrolling. All right. Here we go. This is us right here. This part is for us, the foreigner man, right? You got, hold on, let me go to the top. This is postpaid, right? These are for people who are paying their bill after, fuck, I don't need to explain to y'all what postpaid is. Y'all ain't stupid. Anyways, postpaid. For most foreigners, we are going to fall under the prepaid category. So if you go all the way down to the bottom of the smart page, again, just providing an example, you're going to click on data promos, y'all. That's the word we're looking for, data promos. And I'm just going to show you a little something, and hopefully you guys will be able to understand why I am so gung-ho about this shit, okay? And you'll understand why I find this to be important to at least help my foreigners save just a little extra coin while they're in the Philippines. And again, this is for my people who don't know. I got guys out there who are legitly on this shit, but sometimes there are brothers in the background who really don't pay attention to this one. So at least nobody can ever say the doc didn't tell me. That's the rule right here. I want to make sure nobody can say doc didn't tell me. No, Doc about to get y'all right real quick. All right. So it says select the promo, right? And the only reason I'm doing this is because it's super zoomed in. So let's see. We're going to do call and text. That's what we're focusing on. Now, all access to data and all of that stuff comes into play as well. And again, you can look at that stuff. That's for internet for your phone and shit like that. If you think that's important, you can look at those as well, but my key focus right now is call and text promos. That's what I want to focus on. All right, so I'm gonna have to zoom out, guys. All things considering, let me back out just a little bit. That's what she said. Anyways, call and text promos. All right, so if you look right, you have shit, man. Come on, Doc, get it together, bro. Oh, y'all making me look bad, bro. What's up? I know y'all didn't make me go all the way back to the beginning. Don't do your boy that dirty. Looks like y'all are on something today. My bad, y'all. Give me a second, y'all. I got you. Go back to the data promos. Click on it. Thank you. All right. Now let me go ahead and scroll down and see what they got for us. Let me back this out. I'm sorry, y'all. This shit acting out for real. Trying to make me look bad in front of company, y'all. Anywho. All right, where we at? Come on. Come on. Come on, bitch. Come on, bitch. All right, here we go. I'm gonna click on this shit again. I don't know why this thing acting a monkey, and I'm not playing with y'all today. Anywho, y'all know my shit. Y'all know I get angry though, man. I'll throw something at this damn computer with quickness. Anyway, I promise y'all, man. So I ain't acting right. We don't do giga. Biatch. There you go. Call and text, y'all. Click on it right there in the corner, y'all. Y'all see it in the corner? Call and text. This thing right here. That's what I want y'all to look at right here in the corner, right here in the corner. All right. So we're gonna scroll down and I'm gonna show you guys a little bit of what these plans are like. Okay. So what you got here is your unlimited call and text to all. Plus you get 500 megabytes for all sites and apps and shit. That's just for you using your phone. A standard thing, right? You see right here, it costs you only 50 pesos for 3 days. So the promo lasts for 3 fucking days. For $1, you get unlimited call and unlimited text. As long as you're calling somebody who is on the smart network, y'all, you get unlimited calls. Now, if you're trying to call somebody on Globe, if you're trying to call somebody on Sun, a little different, right? And I think it's very important to at least know what SIM card or what your SIM card that your young lady is using. That way, if you're going to sign up for these promos, at least those promos are applicable to her. Right into her network, because if she's got Globe and you got Smart, this unlimited call and text, well, the unlimited calls is useless. The text is fine. I don't think there's an issue with texting, but the unlimited call is useless because that's a different network. Okay, so again, know your promo codes. For $1, you get this shit for 3 days. Feel me? 3 days. Now let's graduate up to the unlimited call and text, 1 gigabyte. That's for your data and shit like that. This is good for 7 days. So for $2, 100 pesos, that shit's good for an entire week. Think about that, gentlemen. Just marinate on that shit real quick. For $2, you can unlimited call and unlimited text to any chick in your network as long as they're on the same fucking network as you for 7 days, for an entire week. You can do this for $2. So let's say, for example, that's going to end up costing you 400 pesos a month, $8 for an entire month. Unlimited call and text. Nobody thinks about this shit because nobody want to do it. But Doc gonna school y'all today, y'all. The last one, again, I'm just giving you the examples. That's why I'm not really gonna, dive too deep into it because there's other promos that you can use that I want you guys to research that are good for data and all the other stuff too. But the last one here is for 299 pesos, $6, y'all. 30 days. That's an entire fucking month for $6. You get unlimited call and text plus 2 GB for all sites and apps. So riddle me this, Batman. Riddle me this. Rather than spending 500, 1,000 pesos a week just to buy load all the time, don't this sound just a little bit better for you to spend $6 instead of $20? Now again, I know y'all gonna look at Doc like he done lost his mind. Doc, why you crying, bro? It ain't that serious, bro. $20 ain't shit to me, bro. I know. But damn it, it means a lot to me. And I think it means more to me to at least educate y'all on this one than anything that I've ever talked about before. Because a lot of guys really don't pay attention to these things. These are like these little in-country hacks that I think are very beneficial to my foreigners when they come in. Because, I mean, like I said, there are bigger and more things, bigger expenses and things in the country for you guys to be worried about. And I don't want your load and, loading your phone and making your phone bill and what kind of phone you have. I don't want that to be a major headache and or an expense for y'all like that. I want y'all to at least be able to have comfort and solace knowing that, I got my unlimited talk and text for a month. I'm Gucci. I don't need nothing, don't want nothing else. I'm good. I've done everything that I possibly can. I focused on everything that I need. Now let me focus on this now. So if you, let's say, for example, you start at the first of every month. I know my data is about to expire. Normally, you'll get a text message that will inform you that your data and your promo is about to expire. So it's going to let you know, bro, you need to get this shit together. Go ahead and load it for go load it for the month again. So you're good to go. Right. So you do your data and all that shit on a month-to-month basis. $6 every month. You can't lose. And trust me, there are far better promos out there, guys. There are far better promos. I just wanted to give you guys the examples, right? Something that I do believe will be beneficial to my foreigners that plan on being in the country. Not even if it's just for a short period of time, y'all. That shit adds up. And like I said, I do not want this to be an expense that you are concerned about. Like, bro, I just paid $10 for a load card yesterday. And, fuck, I got to go buy another one today? Like, what is really going on? You'll only start to pick up on that stuff, if you really start to pay attention. A lot of people don't give a shit, but I do, and I care about your pockets. Doc is not a pocket watcher. Nonetheless, I want y'all to make sure y'all good. Because if you're not, then you're going to be spending you're going to be wasting money. You talk about wasting money, you're going to be wasting money, right? Right now, a lot of y'all are just worried about plane tickets, right? Just trying to get to the country, man. Just trying to figure yourself out, right? Get your plane ticket, get your reservations for the place you're going to stay at. These are the expenses that I believe you should be worried about. This right here, the load and all that shit, and your cell phone and your phones and shit, that should be the least of your concerns. And normally it is, but it's the least of your concerns because you're not thinking about it. But guess who is thinking about it? This guy. And guess who's concerned about the audience's pockets? This guy. Guess who wants to make sure that the foreigners that come into the country are actually in a position to at least put money towards its right benefit or for whatever it is that you really want to use it for? This guy. Right? I don't want my foreigners out there in the cut just spending money because it's the right thing to do, right? Because it's fun or it's cute or it sounds good. Huh? Think you're going to load 1,000 and by the end of the week, man, you over here calling, trying to text people and all that shit, your shit run out. And there's nothing worse, ladies and gentlemen. There is nothing worse. And I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth because it happened to me. And this is why things are important to me. This is why my communication, my phones, everything is important to me. A lot of people believe that the worst thing that could ever happen to you is your phone dying on you, right? A lot of people be like, "Oh my god, bro! Oh my god, my phone died on me, man! I don't have phone no more," or whatever the fuck, right? I don't know. My voices are horrible today. A lot of people think that that's the worst thing that could ever happen to you. Can you imagine if you're trying to hook up with a girl, right? And your phone said you don't have enough load to call her, or you can't text her because you got a zero fucking balance. I've had that happen to me. So now I'm in full blown panic mode because I got somebody waiting for me that's looking for me. And if I'm not where I need to be at, or I'm trying to find out where she is and I can't call her and or text her, what's she gonna do? She gonna move. She gonna keep it pushing. So the last thing you want to do is be in a frantic panic mode and trying to find a place to get some quick load because your shit ran out. Don't let your shit run out, bro. Don't let your shit run out. My man says, Doc, who am I going to be calling over there? The Filipinas, bro. That shit adds up. I'm not talking about international call like calling home or anything. I'm talking about, yo, people do call Filipinas. Most of the time you'll be texting. Of course, texting is more prominent than calling is. But again, unlimited call and text, it's a package deal. So when I talk about calling and texting, I'm talking about it from a package standpoint. You'll probably do way more texting than calling, of course. But as long as y'all are on the same network, the calls are free too, and it won't eat up your load. Right? Calling may be limited, but again, if you run out of load because you can't because you got a zero balance because you done texted up all your load and shit, same rules apply. If you can't text them to find out where they're at, let alone be able to call them and find out where they're at, USOL. And I know my boys ain't over there trying to miss out on no punani. That's the point, man. The point of having a phone in the first place. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I see we got about 11 in the building, man. I appreciate all 11 of y'all coming through, showing love to the good doc, man. If you have not already, please make sure that you drop your like, make sure y'all caress, molest, and de-stress yourself all over that like button. It wants it, it needs it, most definitely has to have it. Again, if you guys want to support in any capacity, please feel free to do so. But of course, I am happy and blessed you choose to come through, spend a little bit of time with the boy today. Now and then. Magic Jack, bro, that shit went out of style, man. I used to have a Magic Jack. That shit just didn't stop working. I think Magic Jack is still a thing. I just don't use it anymore. I mean, we got WhatsApp now and Facebook Messenger for like international calls. And the only time I ever used Magic Jack was when I was doing international calls. But yeah, I don't think that shit still exists. Maybe it does, maybe it don't. All right, let me go ahead and shout out my kinfolk and my skinfolk. Appreciate y'all locking in. Mr. Smith, always good to see my brother. What's going on with you? Will, appreciate you locking in. Earl Owens, all the way from Tacoma, Washington. Appreciate you locking in. Mike, I appreciate the love, brother. Appreciate you locking in as well. JX says some of the biggest unnecessary expenses can be your ATM fees as well. Yes, those $5 fees add up. Thank God that I am banking with a bank that usually returns or refunds my ATM fees. That's never been an issue for me. Thank God for small favors. But for those that don't actually have the luxury of getting their money back, due to the ATM fees, it does suck ass, and that could be an unnecessary expense as well. My man Raphael Williams, what's good with you, bro? Always hitting me with some straight up crazy shit, and I love you, brother. My man said animal, chicken, cotton candy, and fish sticks. Matter of fact, I like animal crackers. I don't really fuck with cotton candy, but I haven't had them the flash frozen fish sticks, in a long time. But you know what, my brother, that sounds really good right now. I mean, when you got the munchies, my boy, that sounds like a great combination of food to eat. But I appreciate the love, Pippin. But yeah, man, ATM fees, y'all, man. Usually it's $5, 250 pesos per transaction. Always make sure that you go to an ATM connected to a bank. I can never say that enough. Okay, Doc says that so damn much. Oh, Joseph, I bank with USAA. I'm sorry, military connected USAA, and even Navy Federal does it too. They refund my bank transaction fees. They do that. Let's see. But yeah, ATM fees, bro. That's just ridiculous, man. $5 every time you got to take it out. Go to one that's connected to a bank just in case your card gets locked in. A lot of people do not believe that's gonna happen to them. That shit happens, bro. Your card get locked into a machine and you can't get it. At least if you go to the bank in the daytime, let's make sure that you have enough money so you don't have to go to an ATM at the nighttime. But make sure you have enough money during the day. Or if you're going to the bank, go to one during the daytime. That way, if your card gets caught in the machine for any reason, because Lord knows, man, I've seen it happen to a lot of foreigners, man. They be crying and shit because they can't leave the ATM machine, right? So if you do have that problem, I will tell you, like I said, you can go to the bank or tell a bank manager, look, yo, my shit's stuck in here. Somebody with a key, open that some bitch up for you, get your car back, and you back at it like a crack addict. And then you're gonna be scared, right? You're gonna be scared to try to get money out from there. So you just got to be careful how you choose to maneuver with your bank cards and stuff like that moving forward. Just got to be careful how y'all choose to, utilize that moving forward. ATM fees can definitely get you for sure. I do believe that, if you bank with the right people, I do believe Charles Schwab. I do believe I hear a lot of people bragging about Charles Schwab. He does pretty well with taking care of bank fees as well. So yeah, he might not, you might want to choose to bank with them. Or what I would do, honestly, I didn't think that we were going to be transitioning into this one, but I'm glad that we at least talked about it. What I would do is if I'm going to travel internationally and I'm uncomfortable bringing my bank card that has all my money in it, there are, like I said, the online bank Charles Schwab. You can just load some money into a card over there. That way, if you do lose the card, you don't lose the money. You ain't got to worry about blocking anything. You could just send that money back to your actual bank or put a block on it so nothing could ever happen if it gets lost or anything like that. But switch it over to an international bank or something, or an international, online bank or whatever, that you can use that card, and that card can be your disposable income, or the card that's not really going to have all your cash on it, just in case you do happen to get it caught or lost while abroad. Me, I do carry my ATM cards, all the ones that I have. I'm very skeptical about bringing them, but I can't leave them home. So I always bring all my shit with me, all of my ATM and debit cards, just because. I mean, just because. But those ATM fees, you're right, guys. They can definitely get you. Hey, if they don't know, now they know. I'm telling you, man. I'm trying to educate my folk, man. Because that data stuff, it adds up, man. And if you're not careful, man, you're gonna spend all your money on load. Shit's crazy. My man says I always get all access data. That's a little, we're gonna step that up for the foreigners too. Like, I mean, there are, like I said, there's so many different promos and so many different ways to gain access to, promo codes and data and shit like that. It's crazy. I went to the one that was on Smart's website because it was the easiest one to be able to give you an example. What is it? $50? I'm sorry, my bad, not $50. 50 pesos, $1 for 3 days, or it's $2 for 7 days, or it's $6 for 30 days. I mean, Jesus, that stuff adds up, man. It's like beautiful. I ain't worried about having to load my phone. I'm always good. Only thing I got to worry about is make sure my battery working. You feel me? Greg Mason, what's up with your pimpin'? He says, so you can just do a SIM card swap and use your same phone from American and Philippines? No, your phone has to be unlocked. If your phone is SIM locked or country locked, it's gonna be tough. The SIM cards in the Philippines won't take it, right? If you're locked into like a T-Mobile or something like that, or it's company locked or telecommunications locked in the United States, problem. If you have a phone that's open line, no issues. But a lot of people don't have open line phones. A lot of them are connected to postpaid accounts or postpaid telecommunication companies like T-Mobile, Sprint, and places like that, AT&T. And it just hasn't. It's not going to work out very well. You feel me? It's just not going to benefit you to bring your phones from the United States and bring it to the Philippines unless it's open line or it's not SIM locked or anything like that. There are some other suggestions that I did catch in the comment section on my YouTube Shorts video. I can't remember what they were verbatim, but a lot of people did have other suggestions as well. I'm all about buying a phone well, I have Philippine phones, so I don't have to buy one, but I'm all about just getting one in the country, something cheap, something durable, something easy to use, and I just keep it pushing from there. Doesn't have to be expensive, just something that will allow you to call girls when you need to, text girls when you need to, do everything that you need to do when it comes to, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. That's the best way for me to put it, man. Got to be able to have the phones lined up for you to be able to accomplish everything that you're trying to accomplish, all right? Communication, you always got to make sure to keep those lines open. And it's not going to be open unless you have an open line phone. All right. Yo, 12 in the building, man. Appreciate y'all locking in. Y'all make sure y'all drop that like. Green newbie, what's up, Richard, brother? All the way up from Canada. What's good with you, Pippin? Internet is definitely your most, or my phone as well. Internet is definitely a must on my phone as well. I love my internet, right? And you're gonna end up using a lot of data. I'm just gonna keep it real with you, man. If you don't have access to Wi-Fi, you're gonna use a lot of data. So that unlimited call and text and the gigas and the datas and shit, where you can get 2 gigs of data and shit like that, and it's all consumable, that plays a major part in the usage of these data and promo codes as well. The data promos and shit, they all play a major part in extending the life of the data that you have on your phone, as well as extending the coin that you keep in your paquitos. Okay. He says, what about data usage? Like I said, that's usually connected with the promo codes. If you don't have a promo code and you try to turn on your internet and that shit start to eat up at your data, yeah, that's all gonna come based on how much money you have loaded to your phone. If you do not have any promo codes locked in or whatever, all of your data is gonna be ate up by your load. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Your data is going to eat up your load. I'm sorry. Your data is going to eat up all the load that you have on your phone, or whatever credit you have. You turn on your Wi-Fi to get that data going. I'm sorry. You turn on your data usage on your phone. Oh, it's going to mess it all up, man. It's going to eat it all up. So you just got to be careful, man. Just got to be careful. Just lock into the promo codes, y'all. Y'all think I'm playing. That shit, I have never been more adamant about something in my life. I told y'all, if y'all, you can't nobody ever say the doc didn't say something, right? See, I saw something, so I said something. I saw people wasting all their money on, cards and stuff like that, and texting, and not using the unlimiteds and shit like that. It costs you, right? You be on the phone waiting for like an hour and a half or some shit for something, and next thing you know, you look at your phone, man, you done used up all your data, and that shit will hang up on you with quickness. Believe that shit. But like I said, who are you calling? More or less, you're gonna be calling the young ladies in the Philippines. But again, if you're not locked into data promo codes, it's gonna eat up your load. That's why I go for that. Magic Jack, like I said, man, I think they discontinued it, or nobody uses it because, like I said, they got WhatsApp and Facebook Messenger and things like that. What about burner phones? Any recommendations for how much a more basic smartphone in the Philippines would cost? Like, obviously, there's no chance I'm risking my Samsung S20 getting stolen in the Philippines. They have cheaper versions of the Samsung phone in the Philippines. They have very cheap versions of cell phones. And hold on, matter of fact, I'm gonna show you something real quick. This is my phone right here, y'all. This is my Philippines phone. This is my Samsung J7. That is the model, Samsung J7. The Samsung J7. This is old as hell, bro. This phone is old as dirt. I'm surprised this shit even still works. I ain't gonna cap, man. I'm surprised this phone still works. But what you're gonna understand and what you're gonna know is that when you buy these phones, like, you can find a decent smartphone, a decent smartphone for not an expensive price. Now, again, if you're looking for your Apples and your Samsungs and your Lenovo's and your LGs and your Oppos and stuff. I mean, I'm sorry, no, not even those, but your Samsungs and your Apples, you can expect to pay premium price, right? But if you can settle for an LG, if you can settle for an Oppo and your Huawei's and shit like that, you can get a decent phone for not a lot of money. I mean, like I said, it depends on what you want your phone to do. If you want your shit to have all the bells and whistles that normally come with a smartphone, yeah, it can be a little bit more expensive. But if you're looking for something that performs the basic task, right? The basic of all tasks, talk, text, internet, you could probably get you a decent one in and around $100, maybe 150. And again, that's probably even on the high end for a lot of other people. But this is, talking about smartphones only, right? And I'm talking about a decent smartphone, not like a cloud phone or some of that other really knockoff fucked up shit that you can find in the Philippines. I'm talking about your Oppos and your Huawei's. I trust those brands. I mean, they got cloud phone and some really cherry mobile and shit in the Philippines. Some really not so trustworthy brands of phones. So I do believe that anywhere between like $100, if you're willing to spend for it to get a decent phone, will work. Now, again, I see a lot of my brethren talking about you can actually, how can I say this? You can actually get a phone before coming to the Philippines, and that's not a bad idea as well. Again, you have to figure out what it is that works best for you. For myself, I know exactly what I like. I know exactly what I'm willing to use and what I can use. It's not going to always be the same for everybody, right? So that's just me. I wouldn't risk my S20 for anybody. My man LSW, what's up with you, man? He said, "Can you buy an unlimited data plan? Maybe a second cheap emergency phone with data would be in order." You can usually, if you load the phone, you can get all kinds of data plans. I just showed you the ones that were available for smart on the website, but if you are in the country, I promise you, quite a few available promo codes. So I wouldn't put it past any of them to have that particular data plan available. All right, I just don't know them off the top of my head, like what the actual text code would be in order to get it, how much it's going to cost you, how much money you need to actually load to the phone, and things like that. All right, like I said, Raphael Williams, appreciate you, my boy. Magic Jack has an app now. No shit. I don't see the need for Magic Jack. I mean, all things considering, but I didn't know that. I just thought they discontinued it. My bank, like I said, USAA, Navy Federal, they always pay me back for my ATM fees. I try not to use my. See, I'm lucky because I actually have a bank in the Philippines. I have two of them. So I never really had any issues with the need of putting my own personal American card inside of a fucking Philippine machine, right? And run that risk. I never had that issue. But in some instances and circumstances, like I said, where you don't have that luxury, certain banks will refund your ATM fees. Like I said, I heard Charles Schwab. For my non-military folk, I heard that Charles Schwab is also a good bank to use for international travel, ATM and stuff because they return ATM fees. My man says, if you get a text and call, how will you get a grab? If you get a text and call, maybe I'm reading too far into that shit. My bad, bro. Uh, I think I'm overthinking it. My bad, bro. You gonna have to further explain that one to me. He says, make sure to contact your cell company to unlock your phone before going to the Philippines so you can use local SIMs. It is possible. It is possible. Again, like I said, if you want to risk it, if you have a phone that you're willing to bring with you, go for it. But if you're scared you're gonna lose it, if that's like a big thing for you, then I would say think about other alternatives. I'm not telling you that you gotta get it, but I'm just saying that whatever works best for y'all. Me, I just have that cheap ass phone right there. It works. It's probably on its last leg because I've had that thing for years. I've had it since before I even left the Philippines. Probably a year or so prior to me leaving, I've had that phone. Yeah, I probably am overdue for a new phone, but all my shit's connected to it. But yeah, anywho, if like I said, if you want to connect your phone to local service, just have your people unlock it. Shouldn't be an issue. Now, if you go there and you realize that they didn't do what they were supposed to do, you might be mad as hell. Mm, my man got the Mint Mobile. I've heard a lot of things about Mint Mobile. I got a plan, so I'm locked into my cellular network. Not really a fan. But anyways, yo, what we got? We got 11 in the building, man. If you haven't dropped your like, man, Doc would highly appreciate that one. Again, guys, if you want to support, please feel free to do so. But like I said, I'm happy y'all here today because this is the one. It ain't gonna get a lot of views and share probably, but this is the one that means the most to me. If I can find a way to help my foreigners save money, I'll do it every single time. Like I said, a lot of y'all ain't gonna even give a fuck. Y'all gonna be like, Doc, you could have saved your breath on this one, bro. I don't even care. I don't need it. But you know what? I would feel bad if I didn't get it off my chest. I honestly would feel a way if I didn't get it off my chest because I've been thinking about it. That's all it is. So let me say my ish, and I'll let y'all go on about your business. All right. My man says I always leave $1,000 to my best friend. So if any emergencies where I lose my card, he can send me money. Western Union, always a backup. Yes, always make sure that you have somebody you can trust to send money to you, just in case you don't have access to cash. Period. That's always good. That's always a good backup plan. Or if you have the Western Union app on your phone, you can send the Western Union yourself, but that means it has to be connected to a card. And I don't know what it is. If the card is lost or whatever, you're going to have to block the card. So you're not going to be able to send it to yourself. There's a lot that goes into it. So prayerfully, you won't have any issues with, your card. But if you do, you always got to have a backup plan. Please have a backup plan. Okay. Amazon sells unlocked phones. Like I said, you can find them cheaper on the Amazon. Amazon got every damn thing. My man said Cherry Mobile and Android phones are cheap in the Philippines, bro. But them are some cheap ass phones, bro. I probably wouldn't, man. It does depend on how much money you're willing to spend. Honestly, I would buy a Nokia. Nokia has always been my go-to brand, and when it comes to just if I had to buy a phone off the rip, and I'm looking for a durable phone, something that I can drop a million times and that shit still work like you never dropped it, I'm all in on Nokia. Nokia really makes some very durable Philippine phones. That Cherry Mobile shit, man, that cloud phone and stuff like that, man, that stuff a little iffy for me. I bought a Cherry Mobile phone for a friend one time. That shit was ghetto as hell. I said, man, this shit just feels like it's very low quality, but it is cheap though. It's very cheap. Like I said, it depends on how cheap you're willing to go, and that's sad because I'm a cheap dude, bro. I ain't gonna cap. I'm cheap as they come. But even now, like for myself personally, man, those would be a hard one to find. That would be a hard one to have to buy for myself. My man says I use a lot of data in Brazil for translation, but my lady speaks English in the Philippines. Hey, one less thing you got to worry about, you know. He says I used to have a J3 Eclipse before an S20. Hey man, whatever can get my ass GPS rides and dates with girls. Yeah, man, I'm very low maintenance too. Like I said, as long as it performs the basic of tasks, I'm good. And as long, like I said, if you like going back to the grab question, I don't know if y'all was fucking with me. I'm sorry, my mind just wasn't thinking about what you were saying. I was hearing it, but I was probably not recalling it very well. But as long as your phone can load the grab application on the phone, that's key. I mean, a lot of us are going to be in the market for using grab phones. Like I know for a fact, I'm gonna use a grab phone. I mean, I'm going to have Grab the application on my phone, is what I'm saying. And I'm going to probably use Grabs more than I use any other type of transportation. Now more than ever, because you know everything going on in the world today, I don't feel like having to wait all day and all night for a taxi or or whatever. Not a taxi, but like riding jeeps and shit. And that's probably another topic for another day about how we're going to have to navigate and maneuver around the Philippines now that all of this stuff is, pretty much in limbo in reference to how foreigners can get around and how people are getting around in general, the limited capacity of people that can ride on jeeps and the limited capacity that people can use certain public transportations. That definitely plays a role. Definitely plays a role. Yes, USAA is the best for a lot of things, but they definitely need to get right on some other shit. I think he meant if you get a phone plan with only call plus text, how would you get rides on Grab? That's the day. Ooh. Okay, if you only get, well, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're probably gonna want to load more data than you're gonna consume based off of that to have a little bit of extra just in case you're gonna get data. Most of the time with these promo codes, they're gonna have data included. If you haven't noticed, the three that I showed you there on the smart website, they all had some type of data included, even if it was just call and text. It seems as though they're not advertising call and text promotions without data attached to it in some capacity. That's what it's looking like. I'm not saying that there aren't plans out there that have those attached to them. I'm just saying that when I think about it, there are a lot more plans out there that have data attached to it than you probably would ever believe. So you should still be able to get Grab, the Grab application. It might utilize some data, if that's the place, I mean, if that's the direction you're going. But even if you're going to use data, you're only going to use it long enough for you to be able to get your grab. I mean, it's not going to be something that I think you need to keep on. But even if you did keep it on, it's not going to be a bad thing for you as long as you have the data plan connected to your call and text plan. And normally, like I said, that seems to be the movement. Like there's some type of data plan or some type of data connected to the call and text plans as of late. I'm not saying that there aren't some out there that don't have it. I would just hope that you would find the data plans that have call and text or call and text plans that have some type of data included. A good way to try to maximize at least whatever you got going on. Okay. Earl Owens, they're trying to sneak it in to take my money, man. They don't want to pay me, bro. Telling you, man, I'm about to start exclusively doing my own paid promotions for Robust and shit. Me and Robust got to strike a deal, but they playing, bro. I've been trying to contact Robust since I got back home. I'm like, bro, there is no better endorser than yours truly. I go hard for Davao, so I'm gonna try to be Davao's blackface endorser. Think that should work, Not not blackface endorser, but like I'm gonna be on the tourism committee and shit, trying to get y'all to come to the Philippines. I think that'll work. This face right here, it's not that bad. I think they could put me on a couple of billboards and shit. I think I might be able to make that work. Like I said, man, put me on a couple of Robust billboards in the Philippines, man. That shit'll sell out. Because I promise you, if Filipinos believe that by taking Robust, they can let it hang and swing like your boy, I'm gonna sell y'all some. I'm gonna sell them pills, bro. I'm gonna sell me some Robust pills, y'all. Anyway, I digress because I'm just talking shit. Have a little fun. 16 in the building, y'all. Like I said, we're talking about cell phones. How it could be the biggest expense that you can have in the Philippines. I just want you guys to at least pay attention to it. I'm not saying that you got to go all in on these data plans. I'm not saying that you got to go all in on any of this shit. I'm just saying that it's in your best interest to at least take it under consideration, right? I want you guys to be able to maximize spending in the country. And I think that it's foolish for you to spend all your money on fucking load, like buying load in the Philippines. Not to mention all the girls that are going to be requesting pass loads and shit from you anyways. Last thing you want to do is be spending all that money on loads and shit. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, there's a lot to look into. There's a lot to look forward to, but there's a lot that you can do to prepare yourself for upcoming trips. This is just one of many things that I think a lot of foreigners need to at least, I'm not even going to say you got to research it, but at least have an idea of how you want to maneuver. Because, like I said, when it comes to dealing with Filipinos, you'll probably never call many of them. You'll probably not call many of them. You'll text more than you call. Big facts. You'll text more than you call, but texting is still a part of your load. And I think it's literally 1 peso per text. If you're not subscribed to any type of promo or anything, it literally costs you 1 peso to send a text. So if you send 500 texts, it's a lot of text, I know. You run your whole load up, not paying attention. That's all I'm saying. Oh, Jay, you're not lying, bro. The biggest expense that most foreigners are going to have is tricking. But wouldn't you rather at least have a little extra money to put towards the Bootyloo fund? A little extra money to put towards the tricking fund? I mean, for me, personally, I would rather spend my money on some... If I was a single man, of course, I'd rather spend the bulk of my money doing what I can to maximize the pleasure of my vacation than spending it on shit for a cell phone, man. Like, bruh, I don't care about phones. Just as long as you, like I said, perform the basic of tasks. Oh, I'm Gucci. I'm more than Gucci. But if you're going to make me work and I got to keep doing this, that, and the other, man, I ain't about to press myself over that shit. I mean, I got better things to do. But yeah, I know my foreigners like to trick y'all. I ain't gonna lie, it's fun in the beginning. And I expect a lot of y'all to be partaking in said activity because you know what, guys? We're gonna help make the Philippines economy great again. All this tricking that's about to come in the form of foreigners coming into the country, yo, we are definitely about to make tricking and the economy in the Philippines great again. February 10, y'all. Whatever wave of foreigners is coming in, y'all, some shit about to happen. Believe that. I'm not going to sit there and tell you that everybody's going to be excited to see you, but damn it, I promise you this. Y'all going to have some fun. Y'all going to have some fun. My man says, these topics are coming from an expat perspective, but a 2-week millionaire should not worry about this. Nah, if you're there for 2 weeks, man, I wouldn't even give a fuck either. True that. I don't know exactly what 2-week millionaires are even going to be involved in reference to even having to worry about loading anything. They still got another process of loading. That's what I'll say. You at least got to know how to do it and what to do about it. Get your SIM cards and shit together because you still got to be able to communicate with the Philippines. I will say that. Still got to, at the very least, be able to communicate. Feel me? So, with that being concerned, I wouldn't press myself so much about um, what other foreigners. I mean, what? How can I say this? I'm not going to press myself about the utilization of SIM cards and shit like that. Yeah, if you're only there for a short period of time. But I mean, if you're a 2 week millionaire, yeah, 2 weeks in the country is not enough for you to be pressed about SIM cards and shit. But again, from our returning visitors, the people who plan to stay a little bit longer, most definitely. Got to make sure that you guys got it together. And doctor said to try to save lives. Not too many, but enough. All right. Unless you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, I'm gonna let y'all go about your business, man. Shit, be getting on my phone and shit. Yo, what the hell going on with this thing? Anywho, my bad, y'all. Anyway, he said, what about domestic travel in the Philippines? Like if I'm gonna be there for a semester study, what's the best way to save money island hopping? Should you use ferries or flights? Ferries take a long time, brother. Ferries definitely take their time. They're definitely a good way to travel. Definitely a interesting way to travel. Um, Flights just get you from point A to point B quicker. So it depends on how much time you got. If you want to do a little sightseeing, ferries are not bad. I sometimes ferries can be more expensive than the plane ticket though. Sometimes they can be a little bit more expensive than the ticket. Not all the time, but they can be. You know? Oh shit, my bad, y'all. Anyways, ferries, they take a longer time. You can also do bus. But you want to talk about island hopping, man. The thing about island hopping is you got to figure out where your destination is and where your location is, where you trying to go. That could be easier said than done, trying to figure out where you're trying to touch down at. Because when you take the ferry, you could end up in a whole different part of the island that you're going to that you would if you landed at the internet or if you landed at the airport part, you know. Jay, he's my man says I'm kind of surprised that you haven't booked your ticket yet. Uh I'm gonna let the first wave of individuals go, man. I think I said that in my last live stream. I'm not rushing to this one, yo. I've never been one to rush. I will never tell you what to do with your money. I will never tell you how to act. I'll never tell you what to do, how to navigate, or do what the fuck you need to do. The thing about it for me is I'm wanting to see the level of consistency. I'm wanting to see how long this lasts. I'm wanting to make sure that this is something that is going to be for the longevity of the country, not something that they're going to shut down in March or something they're going to shut down in April or May. When I'm looking to travel and my time is coming up, probably about a month out, and Philippines is still moving, and really trucking in the right direction, then I might. I'm gonna let my first wave of foreigners go. I'm not saying that I don't want to be on the front lines with you. I'll never say that. I want to be right there. I want to be locked in with y'all on the front lines. Outside of the fact that I have contractual obligations to be in certain places, outside of that, I'm not really pressed to rush into getting there right now. I don't need it. I need to start looking at tickets, and I have started looking at tickets. I've already started looking at tickets to price them out. So it's not as if I haven't already been, channeling the proper mindset to get myself prepared to get there. At this point, it's just more or less about, okay, are you ready? Is everything going according to plan? Do you see there being transitions or changes in the near future? Once I can definitively put it in my mind that things are going to maintain and hold, and a government that's been a little bit on the flip floppy side of things and not really being decisive in their decision making, if I see that it remains consistent for months, I'll consider it then. Other than that, I'm not pressed by it, man. Like I said, I still got things to do before I go anyway. So trust me, if everything goes according to plan, exactly when it's time for me to go, I'm gonna be there. You can believe that shit. Definitely believe that. All right. My man says I'm waiting too, but I don't have a girl there. The beautiful thing about it is my young lady is well aware of everything that's going on, so it's not as if I have to rush back there immediately. Granted, yes, we would probably rather see each other sooner rather than later. I do believe that, we don't have to necessarily rush into anything because the time will come when the time will come, right? The time will come when it comes. And like I said, we both got to be on the same page with that. I'm cool with it as long as she is. But if she be like, boy, you better get your ass over here, yeah, it might be time for the good night to go and get to getting about that point. But like I said, we're on the same page, so I ain't tripping. Um, no rush for me. No rush for me. And for any foreigner, and I was talking about this with I was talking about it with a friend the other day. I was like, a lot of people keep asking me, yo, Doc, man, when you going to the Philippines, bro? When you going, bro? When you going, man? Like, when you going to the Philippines, man? I know it's open now, man. When you about to go? When you about to go? And I tell them, I'm like, yo, I'm not sure how ready and willing I am to rush into it, like I would have done before. So I'm just gonna take my time, take my sweet ass time. All right. Until I know that I'm 100% sure that everything should be going according to plan, or at least my higher percentage of everything going according to plan is a little bit higher than where I stand right now mentally. I ain't gonna worry about it. Not gonna worry about it. But to all my brethren out there, I don't want you to not go because I'm not going. Right? That's why I'm very picky and choosy about my words when it comes to travel to the Philippines and shit, because I don't want to say because I'm not going that it's not a good idea to go now, because that's what it comes off as. That's why I really don't talk about it like that from that perspective. Just because I'm not going doesn't mean I don't want my guys to go. I'm just naturally in a position where I just want to see how it plays out. I want to see what all my other foreigners are experiencing as they go through. That way I can figure out how it works best for me. And we got some good information coming out soon, guys, man. I should be able to put together a little something, something for you guys by sometime the middle or the end of next week. I'm excited to be able to, produce some content for you guys. I'm excited to be able to, have conversations and be able to bring them to you guys. And I pray that you guys will show up and lock in so that you guys can soak up some information, just in case you are in a position to travel sooner rather than later. All right, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV, man. I would appreciate that one. I'm not going to waste too much more of your time. We've talked enough about the data. We've talked enough about the plans. Look into them. Yes, it does come from an expat perspective. And me being an expat for a period of time, I do believe that it works to your benefit. 2 week millionaires, trust me. Like my man JX said, not going to be pressed by fucking load at all. Unless they're blowing their load, not loading. Never mind. Y'all get the point. All right. I appreciate y'all locking in, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to hold you too much longer. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. You already know what to do if you did. All right. I don't know what time it is in your part of the world, but again, to all my silent partners, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all locking in. I appreciate you standing in the background, listening in. So all the people that participated in the chat, appreciate y'all locking in as well. Thank you guys for being the best part of my day for the most part, coming through, politicking, and generally having great conversations and, trying to, change the narrative and also put out some information that could be potentially beneficial to my foreigners traveling soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what time it is, but it's time for the good doc for me, myself, and I to go and get to getting. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, the good doc is officially out. At least nako paalam, which means I am going now. Bye bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Makita. Bye bye. Peace.